Ahoy crafty friends, welcome back to my channel and my craft room. I'm Kelly Wicker and I'm so happy to have you here. We are sailing straight into summer with the brand new Spellbinders June 2025 clubs. I've got the Anchors Away Clear Stamp and Die of the Month, the Mariner's Weave Embossing Folder, and I'm digging deep into my crafty stash to mix and match some seriously fun combos. If you love cards with texture, dimension, and splash of nautical charm, you're in the right place because today's card is going to make some serious waves. So it's time to drop anchor and start crafting. Okay y'all, for today's card, I wanted to show the products that I'm using. I'm playing with two brand new Spellbinders June clubs, the Clear Stamp and Die of the Month, called Anchors Away. Here it is. It has some really great sentiments in it. And then of course there's matching dies that go with this set. Just FYI, not all of them have matching coordinating dies with the sentiment, so beware of that. And then I'm going to be using the embossing folder of the month called Mariner's Weave. It's really neat. I love Spellbinders embossing folders so much. Spellbinders sent me these as part of their affiliate influencer team, and you all know I'm a Spellbinders super fan. I love their stuff for years. Since I don't have this month's small or large dies, I'm mixing in the Coastal Escape View Etched dies. Let me show it to you here real quick. It's kind of all over the place on my magnet sheet here because I've been playing with it a lot. So this is it. It has some really great fish in here, some palm trees, waves, anchors. Just super fun. So I thought this would be perfect to match with the nautical theme. So, all right, let's go ahead and dive right into the card making fun. I'm kicking off today's video by getting my card panel ready. I've got my Platinum 6 die cutting machine all set up with the universal plate system, and I'm reaching for one of my absolute go-to basics, the A2 Matting Basics A die set. I'm using the largest die in the set today because I want a nice, bold, full-size panel to build on. For cardstock, I'm using my favorite hammer mill. Love how crisp and clean it cuts. Before I run it through, I'm grabbing my trusty Spellbinder scissors to cut the cardstock in half. That way it will fit perfectly into the machine. Quick snip and I'm ready to roll. Now I'm just running the panel through my die cutting machine, following the instructions on the universal plate system for basic die cutting. Super quick and easy, y'all. Oh, and here's a little tip. One of my sweet viewers shared this with me a while back, and I wish I could remember her name to give her a proper shout out. And I've seen other crafters do this too. When I place my die on the cutting plates, I like to angle it just slightly instead of putting it perfectly straight. Why? Well, when you run a straight edge of a large die through the rollers all at once, you can sometimes get the big clunk sound or an uneven start. Angling the die lets the rollers catch the edge gradually, so the cut is smoother and you get less shifting or warping. It really does make a difference, especially when you're using these bigger background dies. Now once that's done, it's time to emboss. I'm using the embossing folder of the month called Mariner's Weave, and I just love this texture for our nautical theme. Just a quick reminder, this is a regular 2D embossing folder that I'm going to be using, not a 3D one, so be sure you're using the correct sandwich with your universal plate system. And before I emboss, I like to give my card panel a light spritz with my Spellbinders Mighty Mister. There's the embossing folder. Super cool. So I do this off camera to avoid spraying all over my work area. A light mist of water softens the cardstock just a bit so you get a deeper, crisper impression when you emboss. It helps prevent any cracking, especially with bold patterns like this one. It's a simple little step, but really makes your embossed panels look extra polished. Alright, let's get this panel embossed. Next up, embossing. Y'all, I just love embossing. It's just so much fun, and I absolutely love the texture it adds to a card. There's just something about that extra little detail that takes a card to the next level. I've been building up a nice little collection of my embossing folders lately, mostly all Spellbinders, because, well, you know how much I love Spellbinders. It's kind of grown faster than I expected. One of these days, I need to take some time, get them all organized, and show you all how I store them. I think that would be a fun video to do. And believe it or not, I still have some of my old embossing folders from way back in the day tucked away in my craft closet. They bring back so many memories. Just can't bring myself to part with them. It's always fun to flip through that stack and remember when I first started crafting. Alright, let's go ahead and run this panel through the machine and add some beautiful texture. And check that out, y'all. It's so pretty. Next up, it's time to create the porthole. For this, I'm using the mirror gold cardstock from Spellbinders because I thought it would be the perfect touch for this project. I love how this cardstock catches the light. It gives you that beautiful, shiny, metallic look that really brings a porthole to life. I think little details like this add so much to a card. Okay, so just as a quick note before I keep going, I'm only signed up to receive early access to the Clear Stamp and Die of the Month Club and the Embossing Folder of the Month Club as an affiliate influencer member of the team. Those are the ones that I picked to choose from. So I don't have the small die or the large die of the month sets to coordinate with today's card, but that's totally fine because one of my favorite things to do is to mix and match dies from my stash with the new club products. It's such a fun and creative challenge, and honestly, it helps me get even more use out of the things I already own. So I went digging through my dies, and let's be real, that turned into a whole little journey through my craft drawers. But I eventually came across the Coastal Escape View Etched die set. I picked this one up a while back and never got around to using it. And as soon as I saw it, I thought, this is perfect, y'all. The shapes, the details, everything about it works so well with the nautical theme of this month's clubs. So I really enjoy moments like this, when something you've had sitting in your stash finally finds its perfect project. It's easy to get excited about the brand new shiny things, but there's something so satisfying about giving new life to supplies you've had tucked away. To create the porthole, I'm using the circle dies from the Coastal Escape set. They are just the right size and layer beautifully to give you that classic porthole frame. For the cardstock, I went with Spellbinders Mirror Gold. It adds that gorgeous shine, almost like real brass or polished metal, and gives the whole card that polished nautical finish. So fun to use. Now I want to share something a little more personal with y'all. My husband and I absolutely love going on cruises. It's kind of our thing. We try to take 1 or 2 a year if we can. There's just something about being out in the ocean, watching the waves, soaking in the sun, and getting away from the hustle and bustle of everyday life. It's peaceful, it's inspiring, and it's something we look forward to every single year. And later this year, we're actually going on a big transatlantic cruise, which we are so excited about. It's going to be a longer sailing with lots of sea days, which I honestly love because it gives us time to fully unwind, enjoy the scenery, and just slow down a bit. One thing I've started doing on our cruises, well, I've been doing this for a while, and it's something that's become really meaningful to me, is bringing along handmade thank you cards for the crew and staff on board. They work incredibly hard behind the scenes to make the whole experience feel special, and they're always so kind and attentive. Giving them a little handmade card is just my way of saying thank you in a way that feels personal and heartfelt. So when I saw this month's club kits, the Anchors Away Clear Stamp and Die and the Mariner's Weave Embossing Folder, I immediately thought these would be absolutely perfect for cruise thank you cards. The nautical theme is spot on, and it really ties into that ocean-loving part of my life. So I'll definitely be making a few more of these cards, turning them into thank you cards, and setting them aside for our cruise later this year. It just makes me happy knowing that these little handmade pieces might brighten someone's day on board. Now on to the next step, and this one is super fun because I get to use a few crafty goodies I recently got for my birthday. Y'all know how exciting it is to play with something new, especially when it's something you've been eyeing for a while. I couldn't wait to break these out and put them to use on this project. See all that sparkly, colorful coral on the screen? It looks like glitter cardstock, right? Well, surprise, it's not. I actually pulled out some of my brightest Copic markers from my collection, which I'm showing you here. And I used them to color up plain white cardstock with lots of bold tropical tones. Well, bright, very bright, colorful tones. Then I reached for something I haven't used in years. I got out my Stickles glitter glue. And y'all, Stickles does not dry up, and I've had this for decades. Well, decade. So probably even longer, I don't know. But it's been in my stash for a long time. And I thought it would be fun way to add shimmer and texture to my coral without using glitter paper. I really wanted to just make my own. It dries with this gorgeous sparkle and dimension, and it was such a blast revisiting an old favorite from my stash for this ocean-themed card. I ended up going a little crazy with the stickles, and I even added it to the cute little fish there. I just couldn't resist. I was just having so much fun with it. Now it's time to create the background scene for all the coral and fish. And this part is so much fun. So something my sweet hubby bought me for my birthday that he didn't actually know he bought me until I told him is the beautiful set of 1-inch blending brushes from Pinkfresh Studio. There are 9 brushes in this set, and I found them on Amazon. Of course, I'll have them linked for you down below with my affiliate link if you want to check them out. They are just the perfect size for backgrounds like this, small enough to control your blending in tighter areas, but still big enough to get smooth coverage. I've been loving using them for projects where I want just a pop of color in a specific spot, or when I'm building a scene like this one. So for today's ocean background, I grabbed my Distress Oxide ink and Salty Ocean, which just felt like the perfect color for this theme. I loaded up my 1-inch blending brush and started blending right onto my cardstock to create the beautiful ocean base for the coral and the fish to live in. One thing I love about Distress Oxides is how creamy and smooth they blend. You can get the soft fade or build up bold color depending on how heavy your pressure is, and they layer beautifully if you want to come back in and deepen certain areas. And blending doesn't have to be perfect, y'all. You can always come back with a second layer or add splatters, a shimmer spray, or more ink to help break up an uneven spots, which I'm going to do later on. I like to just take my time, blend in small circles, and work from the edge inward to keep the color soft around the edges and build it up as I go. Blending is actually one of my favorite parts of card making. It's so relaxing and really makes the whole scene start to come to life. Let me know in the comments. Do you use blending brushes? Do you have a favorite size or brand you swear by? I always love hearing what works for y'all. Let me know in the comments below. Alright y'all, it's time to get excited about the next step because I'm bringing in something else that's new and super fun. I'm using the brand new Distress Spritz. These were a birthday gift from my awesome brother-in-law and sister-in-law. Shout out to you both if you're watching. He actually asked me what these sprays were all about, so I thought it would be fun to show them in action right here in the video. And honestly, they are just plain fun to use. The shimmer, the sparkle, the way they catch the light. I love collecting these. Every time a new color comes out, I feel like I need to add them to my stash. They are great for backgrounds, accents, or just giving your projects an extra wow factor. So I'll be spritzing little over the blended background to add a bit of shimmer and movement, and it ties perfectly with the underwater vibe I've got going here. Okay, so I've got my Tim Holtz splat box out here to help contain the mess because I'm about to have a little spritz party, y'all. I'm using a variety of blues from the Distress Spritz collection to create the underwater background. I pulled out cracked pistachio, prized ribbon, peacock feathers, tumble glass, and then a couple of Distress mica stains and Phantom Mist and Wonderland. So I just wanted to build up some layers and give the whole scene a sense of depth and movement. Super fun, y'all. And before I spray anything, I always make sure to shake those bottles really well, like really get in there and give them a good shake. These sprays are packed with mica and shimmer, and if you don't mix them up well, that pretty sparkle is just going to stay stuck at the bottom of the bottle. You want that shimmer to be evenly distributed so every spray gives you that gorgeous glowing finish and makes a huge difference in how your background turns out. Okay, so once they are all shaken up, it's time for the fun part, spritzing. I could honestly sit here, y'all, and spritz all day long. It's one of those satisfying no pressure steps where you can just play, layer, and enjoy watching the color and shimmer settle onto the cardstock. And you don't need to be super precise, just aim, spritz, and let the magic happen. It's really turning into such a magical underwater scene, y'all. There's shimmer and movement and all these dreamy variations of blue just swirling together. I know this background probably didn't need quite so many colors because it's so small, but honestly, why not, right? Just look at all that shimmer and shine. It's pure card making goodness, folks. These are the little moments in crafting where I just sit back and go, okay, yep, this is why I do this. It's creative, it's relaxing, and it makes the finished card feel really special. Just look at that shimmer, y'all. Isn't it gorgeous? It's really glowing. I probably should have turned on my flashlight on my phone to show it off even more, but I think you can still see that sparkle catching the light on camera. I think it's really showing here. So this is exactly what I wanted to show my brother-in-law. He was curious about what these shimmer sprays actually do, and here it is. You can really see how they take a simple blended background and turn it into something magical. The shine, the movement, the subtle shift in color. It's like an ocean scene with just a little sparkly fairy dust thrown on top. And honestly, seeing this much shimmer makes me want to spray every card I make from now on. It's time to start building the underwater scene, and I'm so excited about how it's all coming together. First, I'm grabbing my waffle flower foam tape to pop up the outer window frame, just adding it to the back here to give the card some nice dimension. I love using foam tape to separate the layers a bit. It really helps create that shadow box look and adds depth, especially for a scene like this. So now I'm starting to line up all that beautiful coral once I get the blue background scene placed on top of the gold mirrored cardstock there. And let me just say, it was totally worth it making my own. Coloring it with those bright Copics and topping it off with stickles gave it such a unique look, and it really brings the whole underwater scene to life, y'all. Between the shimmer from the coral and that mirror gold cardstock porthole frame from Spellbinders, this card just feels so elevated and special. The sparkle, the layers, the shine, it all works together to create that dreamy, magical ocean vibe I was going for. So before I finish up, I just wanted to take a minute to chat about the Spellbinders Club kits for June, because you already know I am a total super fan of Spellbinders, and I'm not shy about it. Every single month, I look forward to seeing what they come out with, and June is no exception. It's so good, y'all. The theme this month is nautical, and if you've been watching this project come together, you can probably tell how much I'm loving it. I personally received early access to the Clear Stamp and Die of the Month Club and the Embossing Folder of the Month Club, and those are the two kits you see me using in this video, Anchors Away and Mariner's Weave. I love that they can stand on their own, but also work beautifully with other products in my stash. So I'm hoping I'm saying all this right. So now Spellbinders also offers a whole range of other clubs you can join. There's the small die of the month, the large die of the month, glimmer hot foil kit, stitching of the die month, 3D embossing folder of the month, the better press plate, and so many more. And if you're like me and have serious FOMO every time you see another crafter using a kit and you didn't get, they've got a bundle called the Deluxe Caboodle. That gives you everything in one shot. That's perfect if you want the full creative experience and love having all the coordinating pieces. If you're curious about any of the clubs or thinking about signing up for the first time, I'll have all my affiliate links down in the description box. I'll always appreciate it so much when you shop through those links. It helps support my channel and lets me keep bringing you more new Spellbinders releases, ideas, and inspiration each month. And I'll say it again, I'm a Spellbinders superfan through and through. I've been using their products for years, and I love being able to share them with you here on my channel. So now I'm getting out my Altenew foam tape to adhere the little fish. I like giving them a bit of dimension so they pop out the background just a little bit. It really helps bring the whole underwater scene to life. For the coral, I'm reaching for my Spellbinders fine tip glue bottle, which is filled with Barely Art glue. That stuff is one of my go-to adhesives. It's got a nice strong hold, and that fine tip is perfect for getting into all those tiny detailed areas on the coral. Now, I'll be honest, I originally thought about turning this into a shaker card. I loved the idea, and I think it would have worked beautifully with the porthole frame, but I'll admit, shaker cards and I don't always get along. They never seem to turn out the way I picture them in my head. I absolutely love watching other crafters make them, though. They make it look effortless. Maybe one day I'll give it another shot, but today I decided to keep things simple. I also really wanted to use the anchor image from the clear stamp of the month set. I thought it would be a perfect finishing touch. Just adds that little extra something to the scene and ties everything together nicely. Plus it goes perfectly with the sentiment I'm using on today's card, which you'll see coming up in just a bit. Just look at all that shiny goodness right there. I seriously love how it's turning out, y'all. That mirror gold cardstock gives it so much shine and polish, it almost looks like a real porthole. Now it's time to go ahead and add the full porthole scene onto the card panel. And can we take a second to appreciate that texture? That gorgeous detail is from the Embossing Folder of the month, and it adds so much depth and movement to the background. This whole card is really coming together so nicely. The shimmer, the texture, the layers. It's just one of those projects that feels extra special. I'm so glad I made my own coral. It really made a difference. So now I'm getting ready to add the sentiment, which I heat embossed off camera using gold embossing powder from Spellbinders to match the rest of the card. I'm just eyeballing it here and hoping it goes on straight. You know how it is. Sometimes you line it up perfectly, sometimes it's artistically tilted. We'll see how it lands. All right, that looks great. Nice and centered, which is always a little win when you're eyeballing it, right? I love how this card turned out. From the shimmer and texture to the colors and the little details, it's just one of those projects that made me happy the whole way through. Now that it's finished, I've got to admit, I'm really starting to build up quite the collection of handmade cards. I've got stacked in trays, tucked in drawers, and probably even some still sitting on my craft table. I keep telling myself I need to start mailing them out more to friends and family, and I really do mean to, because I know how special it is to receive a card made just for you. Or maybe I'll get back into listing some on my Etsy shop. I've taken a break from that for a bit, but it might be time to revisit it. Or honestly, maybe I'll even donate a batch to a local charity or a card drive. There are so many amazing causes that collect handmade cards for hospitals, nursing homes, and community groups, and that feels like a meaningful way to share a little joy through this craft we all love. I just know that card making has become such a huge part of my life. I've said it before, but it really is a form of therapy for me. It helps calm my anxiety, gives me something creative and joyful to focus on, and just brings me so much peace. Some days I sit down intending to make just one card, and before I know it, I've been crafting for hours. It truly becomes a part of my daily rhythm, and I wouldn't have it any other way. So I'm just wrapping things up here, and I'd love to know, what do y'all think of today's card? Did you enjoy this ocean-themed project? Are you getting any of the June Spellbinders Club kits? Let me know in the comments. And of course, thank you so much to all my subscribers. Whether you've been here for a while or you're brand new, I appreciate you so much. Your kind words, your support, your likes and shares, they mean the world to me, truly. Don't forget to do all the YouTube things. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Leave a comment down below, hit the subscribe button, and ring the bell so you don't miss future videos. And before I go, I want to show you the 3 cards I made this month using the June Spellbinders clubs. I had so much fun mixing and matching elements and creating a little variety. Whether you're making one special card or building a whole set, these kits really give you such great foundation to play and create. And that's it for today's card project, y'all. Woohoo, we made it to the end. I had so much fun putting this one together, and I really hope it gave you a little inspiration for your own crafting time. Whether it's the sparkle, the stamping, or that fun underwater vibe, there's just something so satisfying about bringing a scene like this to life. I always appreciate it when you watch all the way through. It means a lot. And if you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to do all the YouTube things. Give it a thumbs up, leave a comment, and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss what's coming next. Thanks again for spending a little crafty time with me, and I'll see you in the next video with more card making goodness. Until then, stay sparkly, stay inspired, and happy crafting!